Welcome to De-Risk, a podcast where we provide a no-nonsense analysis of stocks. Today, we're taking a deep dive into QuantumScape, ticker QS. Our research suggests it's a fascinating blend of, well, racing tech, risky stock. We're working with data captured this morning, September 9, 2025, as of 08:20 a.m. ET. Our mission: let's unpack QS and explore if it's maybe on the verge of a massive breakthrough or possibly a spectacular burnout. So starting big picture, what's the broader market backdrop look like today?
Okay, let's unpack this. The market seems to be showing a moderately optimistic pre-market open. NASDAQ and S&P are ticking up slightly. Looks like a fairly green start to the day.
Yeah, it looks green, but if we connect this to the bigger picture, I'd say maybe don't get too carried away by just the opening numbers. There's definitely this undercurrent of caution. You've got economists whispering recession, signs the job market might be struggling a bit, and there's still this uncertainty tax from ongoing trade policies hanging around.
Right, that uncertainty. And this raises an important point, especially for a company like QuantumScape, right? High growth, not yet profitable. They can be really sensitive to shifts in economic mood and, investor risk appetite.
That's a really crucial context. So if the macro winds are kind of blowing cold, how much can a specific company catalyst really push through that? And here's where it gets really interesting with QuantumScape. It feels like they're at a classic crossroads. It's this battle between a potentially world-changing story and the cold, hard numbers. On one hand, they just had this massive PR win with Volkswagen's Power Cup.
Ducati demo.
Exactly. Yeah. Showcasing their solid-state battery actually powering a Ducati race motorcycle. I mean, this isn't just some cool demo, right? It feels like a critical step. It's showing viability for high-performance automotive stuff that could really accelerate their path to market, validating the tech in a way investors really want to see, like real-world use. That feels huge.
It is significant from a tech standpoint, definitely.
But then, okay, we shift focus to the balance sheet. The financials are still, well, very much in the garage, so to speak. The company isn't profitable yet. Our analysis, looking at future cash flows, suggests a potential fair value around $17.49, which, reflects a strong belief in their long-term story, but it's a huge jump from where it is now, near $9.50.
And what's fascinating here is, while the tech is exciting, you look at Wall Street, the analysts are not quite sold. The consensus is basically a hold. You've got 5 sitting on the fence, 3 actually saying sell, and only 1 buy rating. So not exactly a roaring endorsement.
Just 1 buy.
And to add another layer here, the company's CTO just sold about $1.9 million worth of shares. Now, okay, maybe it was planned, part of a 10b5-1 plan or something, but still, the timing, it never looks great during what feels like a really pivotal moment for the company,
Yeah. That CTO sale is definitely a piece of info you can't ignore. What signal does that send, right when things seem to be heating up? Okay, what does this all mean for the crowd? For market sentiment, it really feels like we're seeing this full-blown split, doesn't it? Optimists versus pessimists. A real battle for the narrative.
Absolutely.
Look at the options market. The bulls are, stampeding isn't too strong a word. The put-to-call ratio is down at 0.18. That means, what, more than 5 bullish bets for every single bearish one? It signals a pretty strong expectation the stock's going higher, short-term anyway. It seems like big money is piling into those call options, especially around the $11 strike price. They're betting on a surge.
Positioning for upside.
But then you look at the other side, the short sellers, they're significant too. About 11.6% of the shares are shorted. So there's a decent chunk of the market betting firmly against a sustained rally here.
It is. It's a classic standoff. You've got the options traders basically pricing in a rocket launch, while a pretty sizable group, likely sophisticated investors, they're expecting more of a reality check. It's almost like watching a high-stakes poker game, really. Both sides seem convinced.
Okay, so let's turn to the charts. Forget the noise for a second. What's the raw price action telling us? Well, the trend seems crystal clear, doesn't it? Long-term positive for months now. And just yesterday, the short-term trend looks like it finally joined in with a pretty decisive breakout. And crucially, this was fueled by what looks like a tidal wave of volume. Unusually high volume, which usually confirms there's real buying conviction there. Momentum indicators, they seem to have flipped into high gear too, suggesting maybe some acceleration.
All true. But one note of caution, perhaps. Volatility has absolutely exploded. So you should probably expect some pretty wild swings up and down. And looking closely at yesterday's price action, it left one of those candlestick patterns. Sometimes it can signal that selling pressure started to meet that initial buying burst, so maybe not a completely clear path upwards just yet.
Right, volatility is key. Okay, so putting it all together. The market context, the fundamentals, both the exciting tech and the shaky financials, the split sentiment, and these technical signals. Our collective analysis, looking at the next few trading sessions, leans towards a bullish outlook for QuantumScape.
For the near term, yeah.
Why? Well, that Ducati demonstration feels like a powerful company-specific catalyst. It might just create its own weather, at least for a little while, regardless of the broader market mood. And the technicals seem to back that up. It wasn't just hype. That immense volume, the clear shift in trend and momentum, it supports the breakout. Plus, you have the options market making these heavy bets on follow-through. And don't forget the high short interest that could potentially fuel a short squeeze if the price keeps climbing.
That squeeze potential is definitely there. If it moves up, shorters might be forced to cover, buying shares back, which just adds more fuel to the fire. So yeah, for the next few sessions, the key battleground seems pretty clear. Will the stock push up towards that options target, around $11? Or if the excitement starts to fade, does it slide back towards maybe the $8.50 level, which looks like a potential support area?
So here's the thought to leave you with. Will QuantumScape's exciting tech actually race towards that $17.49 fair value we calculated? Or are volatility and those macro headwinds going to slam on the brakes? You decide where the road leads next. That's all for this episode. Remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't financial advice. Do your own research or consult with qualified financial advisors before making any investments. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next episode.